up, ladies and gentlemen? Accolonn here, and welcome back to each and every one of you. And of course, if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for joining us. I am very happy to have you here. In today's video, we do something we've only ever done one other time on the channel. I am responding to your comments. I get way too many comments on my videos, and I love that. I love the fact that you guys are partaking in the conversation and you're trying to push the conversation forward. Sometimes some of you are just playing dicks, and I do have to respond to that. I have a responsibility to respond to even the dicks. I try to usually do that at the beginning of the video or at the end of the video, but still, some of you have amazing comments that just really, I wouldn't be doing it justice if I just responded to it in YouTube. I don't have the time to really put in that effort. So it's a lot of fun for me to take the most, shall we say, crucial comments and turn them into a video. Now, you guys can help watching this video right now. If you see a comment in the comment section of our videos that you feel you really want my response to, you can just slap a like on that comment. And I usually do look at the highest rated comments to see if that is a comment that I actually want to respond to. Or you can use the hashtag on Twitter, hashtag #Accolonn, and you can ask me any question there. And then, of course, for patrons, YouTube channel members, and Twitch subs, you can ask me questions in Discord, and your questions will almost always enjoy President. Is that the right word? President? Yeah, let's just say President. It enjoys President, so you can absolutely help yourself there. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, also smash that bell. I'm fucking watching you. If I don't see a like for every single view on this video, there's going to be hell to pay. Actually, I can't do anything to you, but still, just imagine there's going to be hell to pay. And then, of course, enjoy the video. Join us live every Tuesday to Friday on Twitch, link in the description down below, or every Sunday where you can watch me respond to comments live. And also 4 hours of absolute loregasm right here on YouTube for the Sunday Night Shill Show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into it. Enjoy. I did promise you guys that we would go through comments. This is what I wanted to start tonight with before we get into the actual lore theories. I wanted to go through some of the cooler comments that I got throughout the week and throughout last week. Myself and Alex have decided to look at the comment section and sort of choose the comments that we thought was the best at the time, right? So, some of these comments are very much lore related, and that's why I chose to do the comments during the live stream, because these are comments that I see a lot. So I see these comments pop up a lot, and of course I don't have the time to respond to every single comment in the way that I would have liked to, right? Which is generally why I've decided to do things like this. Sometimes your mic is muting for a few seconds. Is it doing that for everyone, or is the mic good, or is the mic fucking up again? I'll keep trying. All right, we're just gonna leave it like, fuck this mic, bro. I hate my life so much. But anyways, let's just get into this, because I did promise you guys this is what we will start with. Shadowlands pre-patch coming soon. Everything you need to know. So this is from that video, and these are, by the way, the ones that Alex chose. So Alex chose these comments for me to respond to. I think they need to make all achievements account wide. Now that you can level in a different expansion per character and you are not leveling in all expansions. So this is a question that I think, this really is a sentiment that all of us share. Let's be real. Most people right now genuinely do not understand why Blizzard insists on keeping most of the achievements account or literally character wide. Now, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be achievements that only belong to your character, but in my opinion, these should be similar to what we would call feats of strength, right? So achievements that really only matters on a single character. So, for example, when you get an achievement with a given faction or with a given reputation faction, should that really only be on a single character? Because arguably, you could be getting that fucking achievement on any character. So these are achievements that I think should absolutely scale across the board for all of your characters. Things like PvP achievements, absolutely. I can understand why you would want to keep PvP achievements only for PvP, why you would want to keep PvP achievements only for a specific character, but I think most of us can agree. The achievement system, and especially now with the change in leveling, is just absolutely fucking insane. There's no point to this. There genuinely is no point anymore. And this plays part of a larger problem that I have with Blizzard's development staff. Why does it always take so fucking long for Blizzard to embrace what players think is fun? When you have the vast majority of players going, you know what, bro, it would be really cool if achievements could be account-wide. Or the vast majority of players going, you know what, bro, Titan Forging, War Forging really fucking sucks. 3 expansions later, Blizzard is still defending Titan Forging and War Forging, and then finally they go, oh, never mind, we're going to remove Titan Forging, War Forging from the game, and the rest of the player base goes, dude, Jesus, we could have saved ourselves so much QQ time if you just listened to us when we first told you we don't like this fucking system. We don't enjoy the fact that gear doesn't matter, and the fact that gear doesn't matter is because of this just level up and shit, right? So this really is ego. It's a hell of a drug. Very true, right? Players have been asking for player housing for such a long time. Why are these things not being added? Why is Blizzard insistent that they have the right answers when the rest of the game, when the player base is going, hey, bro, you know what? We play this game every single day. Maybe you could listen to us. It wouldn't be the end of the world if you just gave us a little bit of time, you know, just like a little bit, to listen to what we fucking think and what we think would be good for the game. But anyways, Shadowlands and the infinite timelines of World of Warcraft. Well, I still wonder if we ever gonna visit Draenor now that it is controlled by the light. So the question here, the Lolocaster, thank you very much for asking the question. Well, first and foremost, it is alternative Draenor, which, as far as we can tell, is it looks like it's the same as the Draenor that we were at, but it could also be a different Draenor. Now, there is a weird theory here that I'm going to share with all of you, and I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to throw this out here. But this is a theory that comes straight from your boy, Apocalypse. Draenor might be Azeroth in the future. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to say that. Apocalypse believes he's got evidence to show that Draenor is Azeroth in the future after Azeroth woke up. That's it. I'm just going to leave it at that. You guys can do with that whatever the fuck you want, but we'll probably cover that theory at some point. I don't have the evidence. That's Apocalypse's job. He said that on Saturday, he will run me through the whole theory and tell me exactly how he came to this. I'm as skeptical as you guys. Believe me. I'm just saying this is what Apocalypse believes to be true. And by the way, him and Chaos Lance have been talking about this ever since back in Legion already. They've been discussing this theory. So Apocalypse have been working on this theory for a long time, but we'll get there. Don't worry about it. Shadowlands delayed and Blizzard offering refunds. Players need to calm down. I never thought that a Karen version of Accolonn in the thumbnail would be this terrifying. Bro, I am the Karen of Karens. You should know this by now. I can lose my shit if I fucking want to. 100%. Holy shit. You should see me. No, actually, I couldn't be further away from a Karen. I genuinely never get angry at things. Like, when I go to a restaurant and shit just goes wrong, I'm just like, fine. When they tell me, hey, dude, we screwed up your order, no, make another one, it's fine. I genuinely am not a Karen, but I thought the Karen version in the thumbnail really fucking worked. The broken nature of borrowed power and Shadowlands systems. People talk about this like it's only since Legion. It's been like this since Pandaria, with the first talent overall in scenarios. Remember those? Bet you don't. K2, so I do need to say, bet you don't? What? Bro, I've been playing this game since fucking vanilla. Well, let's say TBC because I only played the last bit of vanilla. But I've been playing this game for a very long time. I remember what they did in Mist of Pandaria, but I genuinely don't think it's the same. Like, I genuinely don't think that you can say that the borrowed power is the same as the overall of the talent system. But this is again the problem that we have so often within World of Warcraft, and especially within the community, is the amount of people that only hear what they want to hear so that they can respond. There's so many people that refuse to listen. I mean, that entire video, just by the way, was meant to explain what borrowed power actually means. And then you still had people arguing over whatever the fuck they think it means, ignoring the argument that I made in the very first place. Mist of Pandaria had 0 borrowed power systems. 0. And by the way, if you're going to include legendaries in the borrowed power system, you're wrong. Legendaries is just a cool thing that's added to the game that you can sort of dive into for a while. But legendaries is not the same as artifact weapons, as Azurite armors, and as the Covenant system. It's not the same thing. Legendaries tend to only ask you to do things that you fucking love, right? So if you want to get the cloak unlocked, you have to do some raiding, which is the whole point. You're going to be doing it anyways. And it does give you a little bit of a boost of power, but it's not, the whole game isn't built around the cloak, which is the point we're making with borrowed power systems. The point isn't that you can't have systems of power that only last for a single expansion. The point is that you cannot build the game around those systems. That's the difference. The difference really is in how you position the game versus those systems. That said, fuck borrowed power. I'll just end on that. So the next question comes from Legendary H, and he asked the following. Accolonn, if you find this, I found it, bro. Please let me know where you think Elune fits into the Cosmos chart. It is stated that she possibly birthed the Naru by Khadgar, and you also need the Tear of Elune to open Light's heart. So is she a part of Light, like the supreme deity of Light? So I did find your comment, bro. Hopefully I can answer in a way that excites you, or at least satisfies you. So my newest theory on where the first ones fit in, and this is if I'm correct and Elune is in fact a first one, my newest theory on it is that the first ones sort of exist above what we would consider the cosmological forces. So right now, thanks to Steve the Newser, we know how this is meant to be set up. So we have the cosmological forces. Just above that, we have the elemental forces, which of course is spirit and water and fire and all those. The elemental forces are above the cosmological forces. And then above those, we have the first ones. These are the ones who basically, they don't belong to a specific covenant or a specific cosmological force. They belong sort of to all of them, but they're not restricted to any of them. So the cosmological beings of death is only restricted to death magic and to what death can provide it. They can't go, the jailer can't start using foul magic, for example. This is just not, he would have to go through some kind of initiation like Sargeras did with the opening of the prison of Mordoun in order to gain foul magic. This is not something that is native to him because he is a creature of death, not a creature of foul. So this is something that I think you need to keep in mind. Where exactly the first ones like Elune fit in, that is a difficult question. That is a question that the only answer I have for you that would probably satiate you at this point, or at least leave you a little bit satisfied, balance. Elune seems to be obsessed with balance. Where that fits in, I can't tell you, but she does appear to be absolutely obsessed with it. All right, so now we have, this was my favorite comment. This was my favorite comment on all of my videos in the last 2 weeks. Absolutely adored this comment. You guys have no idea how it warms the heart when someone comments, builds a straw man, and then spends the rest of time attacking the straw man. I need to show you guys this so that you can see what I'm talking about. Right. So we have Zorb Glorby that says the following. The problem is balance. The solution is simple. Wow, what a genius you are. Accolonn, for some reason, He's screaming my name. I don't know why he's screaming my name, but he is screaming my name. The community asked for something different than BFA. You and Preach and Balila asked for a better game. I didn't ask for a different, better game. Most other players didn't ask for a better game. Yeah, they left. Better game, you did. Preach did. Balila did. That's why you are getting conduits and soulbinds and covenants. Every time Blizz does something, all I hear from you content creators, I don't know what I'm doing. Am I just what am I? If I'm just a content creator, am I not a content creator then? Anyways, we'll figure out what I am later. But for now, I am just a content creator. Is that the game sucks? At some point, you are going to have to figure out that you are part of the problem. You are perpetuating this idea that what you say and what you think is somehow better than what Blizz thinks. Blizz is a company of hundreds of people, thousands actually, who are paid real money to make a good game. I can't imagine that they haven't thought of everything you have a long time before you did. Let them try. It's good to have an opinion, but you need to think just a bit more about what you say because you aren't always right. Now, I would like to say, Zorb, if you could take your own advice right there in the last fucking sentence, that would be great. Because not only aren't you always right, you are completely wrong with this entire fucking comment. Like, there is not a single thing in this comment that you have said that is the truth. I just want to point that out to you so that you understand how wrong you actually are. So let's just go through your comment piece by piece. The community asked for something different than BFA. You and Preach and Balila asked for a better game. You're right, we did absolutely ask for something different than BFA. I didn't ask for a different, better game. Most of the players didn't ask for a different, better game. You did, Preach did, Balila did it. That's why you are getting conduits, soulbinds, and covenants. It would appear to me that soulbinds, conduits, and covenants are exactly the thing we asked not for. Like, we said no more systems. So it would appear, Zorb, you are to blame. You and the millions of other players. Well, actually, it was confirmed that WoW has had about 844,000 players towards the end of BFA. So it would appear that you and the hundreds of thousands of other players that didn't ask for a better game is actually to blame for the shit that we're getting right now. Because this is not what I asked for. I asked not to have more borrowed power systems. I didn't ask for more of it. You did. So basically, you built an argument where you proved that you are the fucking one to blame. Guys, if you want to blame someone for the bad game, it's Zorb. He just admitted it to us. Actually, don't go attack the guy. He's just... I guess this argument got away from him very quickly. But anyways, Zorb, you are quite literally to blame then in your own example, because this is not what I asked for. I did not ask for conduits, soulbinds, and covenants. In fact, I've been spending the last fucking few months saying, please remove them from the game. So, you know, there is that. Every time Blizz does something, all I hear from you content creators is that the game sucks. At some point, you're going to have to figure out that you are part of the problem. No, actually, you are part of the problem. I am not part of the problem. And before you go and think, the rest of his argument is that Blizzard have hundreds of thousands of content creators and developers. If they did have that, then the game, we wouldn't constantly be asking for things to be fixed that Blizzard themselves acknowledge need to be fixed. So, for example, for those of you that didn't see Ian's own fucking argument, his own blue post, Ian's own blue post showed that they realize these systems fucking suck. Remember when Ian made the blue post where he said that they're walking back the change, where you can't use your covenant abilities outside the world, outside Shadowlands? They walked it back, and Blizzard themselves understand this is a fuck up. This isn't working, right? We need to find a way to explain to people that these systems are going away because they are creating serious problems within the game. Of course, that didn't work. Yular, you can go check out, what's his name? Jason Schreier's article on Blizzard, the expose. No, it's actually below $1 million. Jason Schreier did his work there. And if you think it's wrong, Blizzard could always sue him for it, because that's actually very private information. That's information that Blizzard wouldn't want out there. So if he is wrong, they could sue him for it, and they didn't. His article is still up. They didn't ask for any retractions because they couldn't prove that he was wrong on any of that. And he did actually speak to high-level Blizzard employees who decided to speak anonymously, and they gave him that information. So, you know, I just wanted to point out that, I mean, Dular, I had a feeling you would get stuck in on the subscriber numbers. That's not the point. Let's imagine World of Warcraft had 5 million subscribers. Does it change anything I just said here? No, it doesn't. It literally doesn't change a thing. I did not ask for the problems within Shadowlands. I didn't ask for these. In fact, I would be okay with a game that has 0 borrow power systems. But anyways, let's move on to the next one. If I can actually fucking click the next one. Why can't I go back? Hold up. I just want to make sure. All right. So the next question we have here is from Derek Richardson and says, I like the idea of borrow power, at least lore-wise. To explain how a character can go up against the Burning Legion's strongest and Azoth, and he's strongest and not die instantly. All right, so Derek, I actually get what you're saying here, although there is a better way to do it, just FYI. There is an actual better way to do it that wouldn't need borrow power. So for those of you that might have missed this, the point that Derek is trying to make here is that the borrow power systems actually provide an extra level of power that explains how we go up against these crazy strong characters within World of Warcraft. But then if you really think about what Blizzard does in almost every single one of these scenarios, so you think about our fight against Argus, from a lore canonical standpoint, we didn't actually defeat Argus. The Titans channeled their power through us, and that's what defeated Argus. So, in a way, our power wasn't even really necessary there. Right? So, from a canonical standpoint, there are ways to explain how we would kill these extremely powerful characters without having to introduce borrow power systems. Now, you could just, like, this is again, Derek, one of those where it seems to me like you're misunderstanding what we say when we talk about borrow power. I don't mind a borrow power system as long as it lasts more than a single expansion. If Blizzard wants to add a system to the game that lasts for the next 10 expansions, that would be fine. The problem I have with this is that we continuously reset at the end of every single fucking expansion just so that we could start again. Right? That's my fucking problem. That's the problem I have. I don't like the fact that we restart every single time. Anyways, Derek, I get what you mean, but as I said, there are lore ways of explaining this away. The next question, and then I think this is the second to last question that we have here. Easiest way to fix Covenants at this point would be, this is from Grim. So Grim says, easiest way to fix Covenants at this point would be to make the results of the choices do functionally the same thing for your class across all Covenants. No. All right, so Grim, basically what you're talking about here is it's a distinction without a difference. So what you're referring to is every single Covenant, whether you pick Night Fae or you pick Revendreth or whoever you pick, it's the same thing that happens. The ability looks a little bit different, but it does the same damage. It acts exactly the same as the others. Now, the problem with that would be all of a sudden you lose any sort of choice factor. Because right now, the way the Covenants are set up, if you remove the Covenant ability from the game, the Covenants don't really matter as a choice. Ian told us that they wanted to use the Covenants as sort of RPG choice, right? Where these Covenants would be amazingly impactful. What Blizzard decided to do with these Covenants is make them amazingly impactful from a player power perspective. Rather than making them actual good fucking choices from a lore perspective and a story perspective, Blizzard decided to just add the player power as the thing that gives them some kind of weight. So the second you remove the weight from these Covenants, they actually fall apart very quickly. they actually fall apart very quickly. You very quickly realize that you're just kind of running around doing the same shit regardless of the covenant that you chose. Right? Now, I did say that this could change in the future, and there is definitely a world where Blizzard may actually have to do this because they have a different thing that they want to enact later on. But just from that point, Grim, I don't think that would work. And I think a lot of people would immediately figure out they fucking hate this. I would. I would not like it if the Kyrian Covenant and the Necrolord Covenant had effectively the exact same ability. Now, I get what you mean. Balance is the problem here, but that goes back to the point we made earlier. Balance really is the problem here. We are continuously running into balancing problems because Blizzard continuously comes up with these very, very, very fucking difficult systems that makes no sense. No one else cares about these systems. These systems just make the game fucking harder to balance. And I'm not talking about a perfect balanced game, guys. I don't want a perfectly balanced game. I just want a game that doesn't break if you accidentally make the wrong choice. Right? There's a fine line between balance being fun and balance being unfun. Too much balance, unfun. Too little balance, unfun. Just the right amount of balance to make sure that classes do feel different and act different, and some classes have strong points, some classes have weak points. That's where you want to be. The more systems you add into the game makes it impossible for the game to actually function, and it generally ends up being just a miserable experience for everyone involved. All right, second to last question here. I'm very curious what your take on demonology would look like. This is from Tyler. I'm more preferential to the revamp it saw as opposed to Metamorphosis demonology. So while Tyler asked in terms of an individual spec within an individual class, I'm actually going to open it up to you guys for all classes. As long as Blizzard continues with the borrow power systems, the classes will never be as fun as I want them to be. Hey, Tyler Collins, you're here and now you're fucking having your question answered. Happy to have you, bro. As long as Blizzard continues down this route where the borrowed power systems are meant to add the power to the classes and meant to make the classes feel sort of different, right? This is going to present us with a rather bland player experience, which is the main problem I have with it, right? It's that the characters are ridiculously bland once you remove the borrowed power systems. For Demonology Warlocks, I said this way back in Legion when the first rendition of the Demonology Warlock was announced. I hated it then, I hate it now. It is just animated dots. That's literally all it is. What I would like to see from classes like Hunters, like Demonology Warlocks, any class that has a pet and that pet is a major part of its damage, is more animal management or companion management. So rather than the Warlock being the one that does the major damage, let the Warlock be the one that buffs their pets, buffs their demons. Let the Warlock be the one that kind of runs around and throws up extra stats on this demon and chooses when to give one of their demons extra haste. So let it be a sort of micromanagement game within the game that the Demonology Warlock has to go through in order to ensure that their damage gets there. But right now, it is the Warlock that's doing all of the fucking damage, and the pet just sort of reacts to the buttons that you press. But that's it. That is legitimately what it is. The pet's just going to do BM Hunters is the exact same thing. All of your damage still comes from you. The only difference is you press the button and then your pet does the thing. So you pick up that bite thing. I don't know what it's called on a hunter because I don't play hunters enough. But you pick up that bite thing, and when you press it, your pet bites. But you still have to press it. Why not have the pet do its thing, and then as a hunter, you shoot an arrow. And when your pet sees the arrow that's stuck into the guy, it will bite a specific type of bite, or you throw a piece of meat, or you apply a fucking potion or some shit, right? Come up with things where the hunter controls the pets do the damage. So the hunter is almost never hitting the boss. The hunter is legitimately just focused on the pets. That's his job. He is a beast master. The beasts are the ones who do the damage. That's the sort of thing I would like to see. So I guess just a little bit more creativity when it comes to the design. All right, and then we have, of course, the last question of the night, also a pretty big one. Also a pretty big one, which I think comes from Tor Andre Kongolf, who says the following. It's so baffling to me why no YouTube content creators don't understand the logic by Blizzard's restrictions. For many years now, we have seen a part of the player base insisting on getting to play however they want, and the result of that is always terrible. What? What? When did we ever, when in the fucking world of ever, did we get what we asked for and the result have always been terrible? In fact, whenever we do get what we ask for, the results are almost always a resounding great. 100% great. Everyone fucking loves this. That's what we get when we ask for things. You saying that we want to play the game we want? When is the last time that we were able to play the game the way that we fucking wanted? Oh, I remember. Before the last time we started asking Blizzard to stop with all the fucking implementation of the systems. That's the last time we got to play the game the way that we wanted to play the game. So I see a lot of people in chat going, well, you guys asked for LFR, you guys asked for LFG. I just want to say I never fucking asked for those things. In fact, I've always been very much against all of those things. And I'm not even a hardcore player. But I don't think that's how it should be. I don't think you should press a button and get into a fucking dungeon because you pressed a button. I don't know, call me old-fashioned, but I don't think that's how an MMO should be played. I think you should have a community and you should be sort of encouraged to be a part of that community. But that's a different discussion. His exact point here, guys, was that we want to play the game the way that we want, and then whenever Blizzard implements this, then it goes wrong. But that's not how this works. Because we don't get what we want. That's the whole fucking point. So his argument starts off with a lie, and then he twists it even further down just to make more of his argument. So another nice straw man argument here. People only want what is good for them at that very moment. No, not actually true. The fact that I want LFR and LFG removed actually is bad for me at this very moment, and I still want it removed from the game. I don't have a guild that I play with right now. I'm super casual when it comes to World of Warcraft, so I would be the one fucked over by them removing it, and I'm still asking for them to remove it. So, but not what is good for them in 1 year from now. So they keep asking for things that they think is fun, and then they find the game boring because they used up all their excitement they can have in the game. All right, I'm just not even going to continue reading because it's very clear to me. It's very clear to me that this guy is again doing what I told you guys in the first place I fucking hate. I despise when people do this. When you comment, you build a straw man argument, and then you attack the straw man argument as if you're somehow fucking magically attacking me. And for those of you that don't understand what a straw man argument is, it is quite literally when you make a fake argument, right, that works in your favor, and then you start attacking that fake argument, and you make it sound as if the guy that you're attacking made the argument that you just fucking made up. That's what it is. And this is what this guy is doing. You're building an argument that I never fucking made, that no other content creators made, unless, of course, they're somehow fucking weird and stupid. But no other content creators made this argument as far as I can tell. And yet, you're making the argument and asking me to defend myself against it. Well, I'm not going to. That's it. That's the end of this. I'm not going to defend myself against that straw man because it just keeps going off the fucking deep end. 100%. But anyways, now that we've gone through all of the comments from the people that thought that they had an argument, and some of the comments were actually really fucking good and I love them, I want to hear your thoughts. So let me know. What do you guys think of